name is Dr. John Siebel.
My name is Dr. John Siebel. My name is Dr. John Siebel. My name is Dr. John Siebel.
I served during the Vietnam War
When did you enter the service?
in April of 1966.
Were you drafted or did you enlist?
I was drafted. I did not offer to serve. I was a teacher at that time. I just started teaching, and I was pulled out of the classroom.
And where exactly did you go?
Well, I spent my first 6 months at Fort Leonard Wood here in Missouri, and I was sent to Germany for 18 months.
Do you remember arriving and what it was like?
Yeah, I remember waking up, and they said, they were announcing we're getting ready to land. And it was very foggy out, and I could see these large pine trees as we were circling Frankfurt.
What was your job or assignment?
Well, I was assigned in the computer center, and I worked on troops that were coming in and leaving Germany. At that time, there were 250,000 American troops in Germany. My job was to keep track of troop movement.
Tell me about a couple of your most memorable experiences.
To be honest with you, I didn't have that many, except I got to travel around. I got to go to Italy, France, Switzerland. So I got to travel around.
Did you like to travel?
Yes, I love it.
How long did you stay in touch with how did you stay in touch with your family?
At that time, of course, we didn't have computers, we didn't have iPhones, so it was by mail, snail mail. It took about a week and a half for a letter to get to and from the States. You could use a telephone, you have to go to the Deutsche Bundespost, which is the German post office, but you had to make an appointment, and then the connections were really bad, so it really wasn't worthwhile.
Did you feel pressure or stress while you were?
Well, the only pressure or stress I felt was I was worried about being sent over to Vietnam, because a lot of people would be sent to Germany, spend about 2 months in Germany, and they say, no, we need you in Vietnam. So that was my concern.
How do people entertain themselves?
Well, most soldiers like to drink a lot, so, but there are movies and there are things to do. I did a lot of walking around, a lot of traveling.
Do you recall any particularly humorous or unusual events?
Well, I went to Paris with a group of guys, and we were taking turns paying for stuff. And I got in the cab, and the guy said, "You pay for this?" And I did, but I didn't speak French, so the guy ripped me off. So I overpaid for a taxi cab ride.
Do you recall the day your service ended?
Yeah, I was, they shipped us back to New Jersey, and was in a crowded barracks with a bunch of guys. And guys were fighting and doing all kinds of stuff. They weren't paying attention to orders, and they made you do things like clean up and do that for a couple of days. And I just wanted to get out of there, so I just kept my mouth shut and watched people get in trouble, and I got out. So that was my last day of service. That was in Fort Monmouth, New Jersey.
What was your homecoming like?
Pretty quiet. Pretty quiet. Everyone was glad that I was home, but it was no big celebration. Just glad to be home.
Did you work or go back to school?
Went to school right away. Started my master's degree and my PhD.
Did you continue any of those relationships that you had with?
A couple of people we kept in touch with, but by now it's all gone.
Did your military experience influence your thinking about war or about the military in general?
Well, I don't know if it was that experience, except that while I was in Germany, there were about 15,000 people that I processed to go to Vietnam. I wonder, why did they never go to Vietnam? They got more money by going to Vietnam, by getting combat pay, but some of them probably didn't come back. And I guess my thought is, of course, I think it's more age than anything else. That war's a losing deal for anyone. I mean, everybody loses. Some just lose more than others. I'm not in favor of us fighting wars, if we can avoid them.
How did your service and experiences affect your life?
Well, again, it was good in the fact that, first of all, I did serve my country. And number two, I was able to receive some compensation when I went for my doctor's degree. If you serve military service, you get some money for going to school. So it was a win-win. The biggest win for me was that I was stationed 20 miles from my family's hometown in Germany. My mother came over about a long time ago. I mean, it was like a vacation. Really great.
As a veteran, how would you like to see your service honored? Is it done enough?
Yeah, I think it's honored. I did, I served. I didn't do anything, nothing special. I just put my time in.
When you were in the war, tell me about your boot camp and training experience.
Well, that was really something for me because I used to be a college athlete. In college, I was in pretty good shape. But by the time I got in the military, I got out of shape. And I was probably 50 pounds heavier than what I am right now. And it hurt so much, but I was determined I'll never get out of shape again. So that was a very positive experience. Painful in the beginning, but positive in the end.
And last question, were you awarded any medals or citations?
I just got a bunch of promotions because I didn't get in trouble and I kept a clean life, and so nothing really special.
Okay, that's it. Thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you.